Hello and welcome to Let's Look at Lifestyle. Last week I talked a bit about the Blue Zone communities, 5 areas around the world where people live the longest and healthiest lives. Diet is only one aspect of their longevity, but it is an important one, and one we can try to replicate to improve our own health and well-being. I'm aware that there's a huge amount of information almost everywhere we look about what we should and should not be eating. However, most organisations in countries around the world agree that a healthy diet should be rich in fruits and vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts and seeds, and limit processed foods, foods high in salt, refined sugar and saturated fats. And most guidelines recommend that 75% or more of our diet comes from whole plant sources. If that all sounds confusing or complicated, don't worry. There's a guide that can help us to make sense of it all. It's called the Eatwell guide. It's the kind of guide I like best, as it shows you a picture of a plate divided into sections that represent the recommended amounts of the different types of foods and drinks that we should consume in a 24-hour period if we want to optimise our health. So, about a third of the plate contains pictures of vegetables and fruits. Another third has pictures of carbohydrates, such as bread, potatoes and rice. About a sixth of the plate contains pictures of food, such as beans, pulses, fish, eggs, meat and other proteins. Most of us probably need to eat more in the way of beans and pulses and less in the way of meat and processed meat. Some foods, like cakes, biscuits and crisps, are not on the plate but off to the side. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't eat them at all, just that we should eat them less often and in smaller amounts. The Eatwell guide is easy to follow and it's not too directive. There's lots to choose from in each section of the plate. The Eatwell guide is available on the NHS Inform website. I'll also add details in the commentary. Unfortunately, it's not easy for everyone in the country to adhere to the Eatwell guide. In the most deprived parts of the UK, sticking to Eatwell would use up 40% of total family income, whereas in the most affluent areas, it would be more in the region of 7%. I hope that's given you some helpful information, or at least food for thought. There's lots more to say about the healthy eating pillar, so we'll come back to it again another time. Next week, we're going to bring ourselves right up to date with medical research by chatting about a paper published in the BMJ in February this year. It involves 2 pillars, the physical activity pillar and the mental well-being pillar. See you then!